Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So we have the Radiomaster TX12 here today, and we are going to get the Crossfire Micro set up and running. Now some of the steps I will be skipping since there are tons of videos out there like how to update the TBS Crossfire Micro firmware and how to bind to the nano receiver. So the very first thing that you want to do is set up a model on the TX12 itself. So let's go ahead and zoom in. So let's go over to the models page by long pressing it and selecting a model that is empty at the moment, 06 available. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that and create a model. All right, so I'm going to just exit out instead of going through all this stuff. So we have selected model 6 and it is an empty model. I'm going to page forward and I'm going to go ahead and name it C, long pressing it to make it capital. C, R, S, and F. Okay, once you have done that, you can, exit out. You can go ahead and set the timer if you want, set a second timer if you want, but the main thing is to go all the way down to where it says internal RF. You're going to want to keep that in the off position, and you're going to go over to the external RF. You're going to click on it and scroll over to where it says CRSF, and you're going to choose that. And that is it for here. So you're going to exit out. Now the next step is to download the SD card contents. The SD card contents can be downloaded from the Radiomaster's website in the download section. Now scroll to the TX12 and click on the factory SD contents and download the zip file. Now once downloaded, open it and copy the contents to the SD card and insert the SD card into the TX12 SD card slot. Alright, so the next thing you want to do is remove the JRB cover and install the Crossfire module. So you can do that by sliding the Crossfire module from the top. And because of the foldable handle, we are able to slide it right in there. And once you got it into place, click it in. Now, isn't it nice that we have a foldable handle to do that? Sure beats taking off the antenna every single time to install the Crossfire module, doesn't it? Very nice. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is power up the radio.
Welcome to OpenTX.
All right, we're in the same CRSF model that we have created earlier. Let me zoom in a little closer to right about there so we can see better. So what you want to do here is hit the systems button, long press the systems button. That'll take you into the tools page, and you want to go ahead and scroll down to where it says Crossfire config. Hit enter. That'll take you into the Crossfire setups page. And you see that we have the XF Micro TX lit up there. And we're going to have a pulsating clear yellow light on the module itself. So go ahead and hit enter. And here you can scroll down and select the region. You can select the maximum power, which I have set to 250 milliwatts. And you can set the dynamic power. It is recommended to set it to the off position here, and you can set the frequency, and I have set mine to 915 megahertz. That is what is required in here in the United States. Next is the operating mode set to normal, and that is all I do here. So I'm going to exit out. Now we are back in the Crossfire setup page. I'm going to go ahead and start up the quadcopter that has a nano receiver already bound to this Crossfire micro module. So now we see the XF Nano RX that appeared here. So I'm going to go ahead and click it. And once it shows up, Now here you can set the channels, you can set the telemetry, RF profile, failsafe, and RC by MAV link to on. And these already should be set up. The output 1 and output 2, the Crossfire TX and Crossfire RX. If it's not, make sure that's set up, but you should have already set that up when you did the binding process. So going down to the channel, I have selected 12 channels. So on channel 12, I have my RSSI. So I have mine set on to LQ, but you can set yours to RSSI, LQ, or both RSSI and LQ. And that is basically it in this page. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out. So next, what you want to do is set up the auxiliary switches. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the models button, and I'm going to page over, and over until I hit the inputs page. So 4 channels have already been set, the AETR. So on channel 5 is where I'm going to hit to set up my arms button, arming switch. So I'm going to just put A on there and exit out and scroll down to the source and enter. So arming, I'm going to use this switch right here. So I'm just going to move this switch up and down. That'll designate that switch for arming. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out, and I'm going to go to channel 6, just like setting up any other auxiliary switch here. So channel 6, I'm going to use that as my mode switch. So I'm just going to put the letter M, scroll down and hit the highlighted source. And I'm going to use this switch here, which is a 3-position switch for the mode. So I'm just going to move it, and that'll designate that switch as the input source. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out. And the next one is channel 7. Let's see. I normally use this for the buzzer. So I'm going to put letter B, exit out, scroll down, and I'm going to designate this switch here for the buzzer. So I want to move that switch. That'll designate that switch. And I'm going to go ahead and exit out. Now, I like to have another switch set up because the quadcopter is a GPS module quadcopter. I'm going to go ahead and set up another switch for GPS rescue. So channel 8, I'm going to go ahead and put a letter G on there and scroll down, and I'm going to use this switch right here for GPS rescue. So exit out, and that's just about it here. So I'm going to go ahead and page forward to the mixer page or mixes page and go to channel 5, enter, and exit out. That'll configure the mixer. So channel 6, enter, exit out. Channel 7, enter, exit out. Channel 8, enter, and exit out. And that is all you got to do for the inputs and the mixers. Okay, so there's one more thing that you want to do here. Page over to the telemetry page and scroll down, and where it says discover new sensors, go ahead and hit it and discover all the sensors. And once it is done so, stop discovery. And now basically that is everything that you need to do for the setup. So that is just about all that is necessary to set up Crossfire Micro on your Radiomaster TX12 radio. So if you are thinking about getting the Crossfire setup on your transmitter, go with the TBS Crossfire Micro Starter Kit that also comes with 3 nano receivers. It is cost effective. So here is a test flight at the park that I go to all the time with the Diatone GTB5 quadcopter. So with that, we will conclude this video of the Radiomaster's TX12 radio and the Crossfire micro setup. So thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you again next time.